Let's go. Welcome to the show. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Let's get a topic straight. Let's get things good. Let's do everything that we should. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show. Alright guys, what's going on? This is your boy Tig for that episode of Project Open Mic. I hope y'all are doing well. And we're gonna get into tonight's show. Hope you guys give me your mind, your eyes, your minds, your ears, so you could think about some of the stuff that we're talking about. So thank you for joining us. Tonight's show is gonna be simple and a really tough show to kind of watch, but we gotta get some stuff put down for sure. One thing I will say about this situation is I have to talk about the crazy violence that's been happening from the left side, most Democrat side, but the left side, and how the gaslighting of the mainstream media and how the politicians like to gaslight us, and how they double speak and they don't talk about certain, craziness in the world right now that needs to be taken care of, as we've seen how they don't care about things. So give me 1 second here. Again, I'm a one-man show. I'm trying to set up live streaming, as people will know. I live stream worldwide. I'm bringing it down a little bit. So I live stream worldwide, and I have don't forget, you can catch me on multiple places. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Tempo FM, we are You Live, You Now, Nico, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Project Over Mic. Where you see this mic that you see on your screen right now, when you see that, you are in the right spot for doing a show, to catch a show. And again, rumble.com, Project Over Mic, rumble.com, if you want to catch past shows, or YouTube. Both will work as well. YouTube and Rumble will have all backup of all the shows if you are new to the show and new to the platform. So I hope you guys can check it out when you have a chance. So like I said, I'm gonna put I'm trying to get everything lined up. Alright. Okay, so we should be live all over. Okay, we are live all over on all broadcasts again. So thank y'all for giving me your time, and understanding what we're doing here tonight. So let me just pause this for a second now, audio, and get things straightened up. So again, so I'll bring myself my lovely face on the screen. So tonight we're gonna talk about, like I said, the violence that's been happening lately, the political violence that's been crazy. Also, shout out to my people in Europe. Hope y'all stay safe in Italy and in London, because it's getting crazy out there as the police will basically crack heads for people saying jokes and words, but people who are actually beating people up and attacking people, we're not doing that. And to me, that's kind of crazy. That's just me saying, I'm just looking at them like, wow, they really are trying to do crazy things out there. So again, guys, just to let y'all know, like I said, this is just a new season project over Mike. We're starting up some things. We're gonna try to keep this under an hour. Hopefully try to get it to start early as well till Eastern time. I start at 9 because again, I'm more man show and I'm doing some more stuff going on. But enough waffling. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the show. So we know 2 weeks ago we had Charlie Kirk that got shot. Horrible, heinous thing. And the heinous things that people have been saying about his wife is despicable. But why am I surprised? This is why I said I don't stand with evil, because that's just straight up evil to what they're doing. And saying, oh, she's faking it, all this stuff. This, you know, look, she's stronger than most of y'all, because her husband got shot in front of her kids and her, live, right in front of her. And that's a really messed up thing to say and everything. So, and then the week after that, we did a show talking about freedom of speech, because with Jimmy Kimmel and everything. I said it was suspended indefinite, but it's not canceled. His show's still there, but affiliates are not there. Some people on the right are saying that, hey, we can't do the same thing of talk about free speech and let Jimmy Kimmel get taken off the air. Now, to be honest with you, I don't think that was a free speech problem, but whatever. The right saying it, okay, whatever. There's some of them that make me feel a little worried about stuff, because we know that these people do not care. A lot of these young kids do not care what's going on in the world now. They're victims, and basically they are stuck in that mindset. They're stuck in that mindset, and they just want to be victims. They don't want to be better themselves, and think that the government and other people should owe them everything. I don't like that thinking. The only thing I can control is basically my hands and my feet, and that's what I do to help people out there, like my family and my wife, my neighbors. If I gotta do that, that's what I gotta do. So we're just gonna make sure people understand that we gotta stop letting these babies take over, and also these politicians and mainstream media is gaslighting us to tell us that, oh, well, the person who, like Jimmy Kimmel, well, what Jimmy Kimmel said wasn't crazy, and like I said, I didn't care for it anyway, but he did lie. It was like he said who had basically assassinated Charlie Kirk was a MAGA, right? I'm like, and he did not, and he doubled down on that in it when he came back on the air. I'm like, no, he was not. No, he was not. And again, I don't understand the logic of how people think, but he was on the left. And then of course, that somebody early 2 days ago shut up an ice place, and these people are just bat as crazy. Now, just to get ahead of warning, they're gonna be a little cursing tonight, because on Raw sometimes I did preview some of the stuff, so there'll be a little cursing tonight. I apologize for that, not from me, but from the clips. But anyway, let's get into the show, and hopefully we'll wrap this up by 10 o'clock, my time. So first, I want to talk about this. This is very important to talk about. Remember, like I said, about the First Amendment, like I talked about the First Amendment situation, right? And this affected my YouTube channel as well. Just to let people know, this affected my YouTube channel as well. Well, because when I was telling, I never said, no, take the shots, you don't have stuff. I told them if you have comorbidities, you go check it out. You go on the videos and say, I said that. But I never took the shot. The only time closest time I think I was gonna take the shot is because I had to go visit my grandma. That didn't happen, but I didn't take the shot. I wasn't going to take the shot,
because I didn't trust that thing more than anybody else out there. But I don't just jump to everything that crazy like that. And again, I have one of the comorbidities. I am a diabetic, but other than that, I'm not overweight. I don't have any other thing else. I just have to be careful what I'm doing and take care of myself. I've caught COVID twice and still here. But I wasn't going to get pumped with crap because these drug companies want to do that. And again, here's this thing that people don't understand. 70% of commercials that's on TVs or even in streaming. Do this yourself. Do this yourself and check this out. 70% of commercials on TV and streaming is pharmaceutical. Every commercial will have at least one. You don't get through a show without a pharmaceutical, but at least one pharmaceutical should be in every commercial if you do get commercials on certain things. But they were talking about, remember, First Amendment. They said, oh man, it's First Amendment rights. Jimmy Kimmel this and all that stuff and everything else. Okay, with Charlie Kirk, whatever. Well, here comes, remember, I read the First Amendment last week and what government should not do. They should not withhold speech. Government, not your boss, not me, not you, whatever, regular people. Well, you can say what you want to say, but everything has consequences and accountability. It would be stupid for me to say, my boss is this, and surprise tomorrow morning that I got a job. That'd be stupid. You should not. If you know that you're going to say dumb stuff like that, just walk away. But you have that. I'm not going to go in front of a guy and tell, hey, your wife is this, if the guy could beat me up. That would be stupid. They have consequences. And that's what a lot of people need to flip and learn. So, but y'all talk about, oh, Trump is shutting down Jimmy Kimmel, whatever. Let's see what Biden was doing, because they just came out. Alphabet just came out, which is YouTube, Google, Facebook. All that just came out with something right here.
Amid censorship, pressure from Biden administration, pledges to reinstate YouTube accounts. I wonder who. Okay, but here's what just happened with YouTube and Google, which, by the way, props to them. Go ahead, Rob. Play this clip.
For all the talk over the last couple of days about the FCC and Jimmy Kimmel and free speech, there was a fascinating admission today from Google. Today, they admitted to censoring people under the Biden administration. The big tech giant says it was pressed by the Biden White House to remove content from YouTube that did not, I repeat, did not violate policies.
Did not violate policies? Oh, wow. Okay. I want to thank them for standing up for that.
The company now says it was unacceptable and wrong and says it will not use third-party, quote, fact checkers again. It comes as Google announces it will reinstate YouTube channels that were permanently banned for political speech.
That ain't that some of those have happened. There's people who try to get back on that got the channels banned, and they have been banned within 24 hours. They got banned again. So, yeah, Alphabet was just BSing people. What? I know you can't believe it.
Okay, so as you're going through this, so they're going through their changes. According to the letter, Google will allow creators banned for political speech on COVID-19 elections and related issues an opportunity to return to the platform. The company emphasized that the public debate should never come at the expense of relying on authorities. Google also said that it will not rely on third-party fact checkers. We will never use third-party fact checkers. And instead, the company committed to transparency in its own enforcement policy. The company further explained that future enforcement would rely on clear and consistent standards rather than shifting demands from the outside actors. Google said it would publish more information about how policies are developed and applied. Tom.
It's never been easier to start a podcast than with...
Oh, yeah. Respect for that one right there, but... Yeah.
I'm going to do some translation here.
Please.
Vinny, you ever have your dad would say something?
My dad hasn't been around.
And then No.
He never said anything.
Vinny,
to me,
when you
actually.
were
have a
young.
little respect.
And you go talk to your mom and say, "Let me translate what your dad was really saying."
Kind of sympathy.
Remember that? And he would say, "He's very upset about this and this, and you ought to listen to it." Right?
Yeah.
Let me translate for you.
Please.
I'm gonna do a little translation here.
Push.
Google announced that it took down accounts and everything and is directly blaming the Biden administration when, under the Trump administration, the Federal Trade Commission decided not to break their ass up and make them sell Chrome to someone else, which they almost did because there was guys with billion-dollar checks sitting in the parking lot that we've already covered, and they were about to get Chrome divested. So in exchange for the monopoly thing, as they were leaving Congress, and this is my supposition and interpretation, this is the opinion of Tom Ellsworth, the BizDoc, that's what happened. As they were leaving, they said, wait, there's one more thing. You get to keep Chrome, but you got to put all these people back on, and you got to talk about the censorship thing. Well, that was the fault of the Biden administration. Perfect! Make that announcement. I believe this is all tied together because it was Jim Jordan that was busting their petunias hard, on this thing. And now the Federal Trade Commission is leaving Google alone. They have to do certain things, but they're not getting broken up as a monopoly.
Point.
And they're coming out to the microphone and
I like
saying,
that.
I'm sorry.
Got it. So but by the way, if you were running it, would you have made the same position they're taking now?
If I was at the Federal Trade
I apologize for, I think, a Facebook platform. It looked like they're not getting audio through. I don't know why. I swear, I tell you, sometimes it works out stuff. I'll have to fix it next week. So there should be like subtitles. I'm going to put the subtitles on YouTube videos so you could catch up, at least understand what they're saying. I apologize for that.
Commission, I would have made them apologize for even more. I would have pushed even further. But this, I would have got. I would absolutely have got.
Okay, got it. So,
Isn't it kind of funny, though, to you that this whole past week, okay, every Democrat has been crying about Jimmy Kimmel being fired for free speech. And guess what this bombshell basically says? That the Biden administration used Google, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to silence our freaking side. How is that? Where are you at? I want to see one video or one of you losers crying.
I love your passion. There's two words. I'll go really fast.
Do it.
Word number one. Oh, Brandon Carr influenced the decision of the FCC. No, the Biden administration told.
Exactly. They told them what to do. So it's like them then admit. But think about this, guys. They went after COVID content, as we know, questioning the mask, lockdowns, vaccine side effects, or promoting alternative treatments, okay? Like what Rogan was going through, all right? They did election content, claims of fraud, videos of ballot drops. Do you remember?
Don't forget Russiagate.
Russiagate, obviously, but they were putting up those, people were watching counters. They were blocking their vision, and if you reposted that, they took your stuff down. My old channel got a strike for it, okay? Mail-in ballots, all the machines, and then remember, guys, I did some digging yesterday. Do you remember when Gateway Pundit got banned for posting a 3 a.m. video during the election of vans dropping off ballots in Detroit? Do you guys remember that? Well, guess what?
Yep.
Now over 1 million Detroit election documents have been forced open through FOIA, and groups are digging in. Lawsuits are still live by Trump, and indictments are brewing, and Trump has called for a special counsel. So when we say they cheated and we couldn't even say it live, well, guess what? Now it's coming. Okay, now it's coming. And we knew it. They erased everything from COVID. Anyone that said something stunk about the election, they were taken off. So you know what? What does YouTube say? Okay, come back now, and here's my point. No, okay? That's not justice. That's just cover up, clean up. And my 2 words for this year, Tom, one was...
That's a good way for it. It was cover up, now clean up.
Clean up. And you helped me with, obviously, with my Christianity, Tom, and reading the Bible and everything. 2 words that have been my words for this year. One is surrender. You said, Vinny, you have to surrender. All the stuff that you're worrying about your life and this and drinking, surrender to God, and everything in my lifetime has been going positive. Yeah, I have problems. Yes, I sin, but you helped me with that. Number 1. Number 2, accountability. Okay, people lost revenue. Like we're doing well, but imagine the people that
they lost their businesses.
Revenue, businesses, reach, credibility, and the other side called us crazy. So if there's no lawsuits, if there's no back pay, if there's no indictments or class action lawsuit, then none of it is doing anything. You don't get to crush half the country and then just whistle away walking pads. Somebody has to pay. I love the coming clean. Yeah, you apologize, whatever. Somebody has to pay. Period.
Well, remember we were at the inauguration and we were at that party. It was the YouTube party.
Yes.
Google. And we're there. We're hanging with the Nelk boys, John Shahidi, Kyle from the Nelk boys. And obviously, you know who was in the room, the Daily Wire crew.
Everybody was there.
everybody, Neil Mohan.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it was the top.
Yes.
Sundar.
Top. And Kyle from the Nelk Boys looks at me, and they're playing videos of Trump. They're playing videos of when Trump was on Rogan, when Trump was on PBD, when Trump was on the Nelk Boys, when Trump was on Ben Shapiro. And he looks at me and he goes, "You think if Trump would have won, Trump would have lost, we'd be having this party? No. You think if Kamala would have won, you think we'd all be finished? We'd all be finished."
Done.
Yes. That's what he says, and I'm like, it's a very good point. It's kind of like. And also regarding COVID, I remember, I don't want to put too much out there, but we used to have conversations 2020, 2021 about what should we talk about? Should we not? We got a strike on the channel. Do you remember that? I think we got to 2 strikes. And we had people that were part of the show. They're like, we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this. I go, guys, 3 strikes, we're out. We got 2 strikes here. You might be right. You could be wrong. But your opinion is not more important than the channel. There were some people, patriots you may call them, that said, no, I'm willing to sacrifice my channel for what I think was right.
Truth.
Yeah.
And now, 4 years later, 5 years later, they're like, yeah, you can have your channels back. 5 years later?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's kind of like, you know what it is? You see these things of like the wrongfully accused. It's like, based on DNA evidence, actually, I know you've been in jail for 27 years, but turns out based on DNA, you actually didn't do it. Well, welcome back to the real world, and here's 10 grand. Go out there. And the guy's like, oh, I just spent 27 years in jail, and now I can get back out here again? It's very reminiscent of that. Well, thank you for making right what should be right, guys, but a lot of people got caught up in day late, dollar short. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of people's lives were destroyed. Truthfully, a lot of people's lives were destroyed. A lot of people's business models were destroyed. A lot of people experienced some bad things. And this is how Rumble was born. It's a part with capitalism. Rumble was born, and, you know, it'll be very interesting to see how this opening, you know, in what ways Rumble's going to try to find a blue ocean for themselves to go next, because part of it was we're open to everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so it's going to be very, very interesting as you're going through this next phase. You got to give respect to Rumble, because Rumble never kept anything. They're like, look, you guys can come and talk here. And they made it available to everybody, even though, you know, we're not on there. But they did a phenomenal job during that time. And we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen here.
Stay tuned for the settlements.
Wow, interesting.
For YouTube?
Oh, yeah, there's going to be suits.
Oh, they're gonna be
Really?
suits.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
How big?
If I was a law firm, I'd be gathering up the small businesses that absolutely failed and the personal bankruptcies.
YouTube channels?
This is in the billions. This is in the billions. This is way up there.
Yeah.
What's it called when there's a collective
Class action
lawsuit?
Yeah.
That's you
Now,
think
the only
that's what's
thing
going
they're
to happen?
hiding behind is we were told by the government, so we did nothing illegal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So but there's got to be a settlement somewhere.
So
So,
you
does that
think-
just does that redirect any settlements to the pockets of the taxpayers?
Great question, Tom. If they, let's say they do lose, supposition, does Google pay? Does the social media, or does the government pay?
Google pays.
Google.
Because look, anybody can tell you what to do. Many years ago, Apple was trying to, you know, Obama was trying to get that phone for the San Bernardino thing, and Apple wasn't cooperating. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Of course, I remember.
So guess what? That was government telling you, give me the phone. And I don't know whether they eventually did or not, but it's still the business's responsibility.
So Google
to
could have
say,
said, sorry,
So San Bernardino, the Apple encryption dispute refers to 2016 legal and public dispute, which the FBI sought a court order from force Apple to create new software to bypass security features on iPhone used by San Bernardino attacker. While Apple argued this would create a dangerous master key and compromise user privacy security, the FBI dropped its case, and a third-party group found a way to unlock the phone. But the dispute highlighted ongoing tensions between law enforcement. So Apple said no. Apple said no to the government.
So you're saying Google could have said no to
Google could have
pressure?
said no. Of course you could have said no.
They could have said
Of
no.
course you could have said
Of
no.
course they could have.
So imagine if somebody comes right now and says, I want to see your text exchange with, you know, we haven't committed a crime. For all of you guys that were going through the faith over fear.
Thank you.
Shirt that, by the way.
Okay, so I'll give it to I get it to PBD for that one. So there you go. So that's how. Yeah. So yeah, we thought, Trump did all of and the Biden did horrible stuff, whatever. And I know that because again, some of my videos on YouTube got clapped because even though like I said before, I played a video. I was saying, hey, if you have comorbidities, be careful, all that stuff. But I don't think we should shut stuff down because you're not gonna stop this. It's and the way it was spread, and of course, it came out to show the stupid stuff that Fauci said. Now that's a person who should be in jail for sure. The stuff 6 feet rule. I was like, wait, is it if somebody sneezes or whatever, it's gonna spread? It didn't mean matter. It was just put up there just to give you a safety net in your head, but it didn't mean that jack squat. 6 feet did not stop the disease from spreading. Fauci just came up with nonsense just to make y'all feel that y'all was protected. And I was saying that, and a couple of my videos got taken down because of that. I was like, some of them was like, oh, well, you're a strike if you're going to keep on. Yeah. Now, I played a game and reroute some word about that. I call it like the scandemic, like I call it, which it was a scandemic. And save my channel so I don't have no strikes on my channel now. But I had to play that rules because of what the Biden administration did to Alphabet, and Facebook and all that stuff. Some of my videos on Facebook have been clapped. Now, I know they're going to get, Facebook is not a big platform for me. I get about 200 views, 300 views from that most of the times. Good for that, and I'll take it. But it's just, you're not going to get, I'm not going to get that from the Facebook. But YouTube, yeah, I bet they should give my videos back and say, hey, your video should come back because I didn't do nothing wrong at all. I didn't force no lie. I didn't tell no lie. And all the stuff I was saying where they thought I was wrong turned out to be true. Could you imagine that? Okay. So now we're gonna go into the violence of I wanted to get that out of there because I want to get into this video right here, which is needed. And again, I'm sorry for the Facebook. I will try to fix this sometime on the weekend to next week. The audio from the show should jump on, the audio of the show could play for you guys so you can listen to. So, but anyway, I'm in the middle of the show. I can't fix nothing about it, so let's go. Shooters have all of this in common, and we're gonna talk about it.
Left-wing shootings in the past week and a half. The shooters all left messages ranging from "Hey fascist, catch" to "Free Palestine" to anti-ICE and other anti-Trump slogans. But for some odd reason, the media's blaming Trump.
You can't just assume by that what was written on that shell casing that's necessarily his motivation.
No, son of a bitch!
Okay, so he shouldn't. So he wrote anti-ICE on there, but yeah, he shouldn't. Okay, whatever. MSNBC, good grief. Stupid network. That's a stupid network right there. That's CNN. Like, y'all listen to this 24/7. I said you can listen to figure out what's going on, but for people living 24/7, because even if you listen to Fox 24/7, y'all got brain rot. That's the way I look at it.
He could have been doing that to thinking it was funny, trying to put law enforcement on the wrong track.
So,
really?
according to MSNBC, the latest left-wing shooter in Dallas who wrote anti-ICE on one unused bullet casing did it as a joke to trick police.
This is where, when you analyze the person's phone, computer, talk to his family and friends, that you get an idea of what his motivation perhaps really was.
It could have been a joke, or maybe the shooter who shot at ICE agents and wrote anti-ICE on his bullets before unaliving himself hated ICE.
We don't know whether this was an anti-migrant shooting because of the victimology who was struck, or whether this is an anti-ICE shooting.
So CNN is suggesting that the shooter was a conservative who hated migrants, simply because the shooter had such bad aim that he ended up shooting and killing a detained migrant. Why would a conservative want to shoot a detained migrant? Don't conservatives just want illegal immigrants deported? If they're already detained, why shoot them? The mental gymnastics here are so insane. I give them a 10 out of 10 in the Special Olympics.
I could give them I'll give you a reason, ma'am, why what that. No, I don't. I agree with you on your thinking, but I'll give you a reason why. Maybe the person thought, again, but now Trump's back in office, but yeah, that once ICE, whatever, they could get away and whatever. But the problem was the person shot with a weapon and it was not a sharpshooter. So it was kind of like raining and a little windy. So he didn't know none of that stuff. So yes, people got shot at. But here's the thing. A cop got shot at in his neck. Thank God he survived. Thank God. Okay, that wasn't that neat. He got shot in his neck, and unlike Charlie Kirk, he survived. Thank goodness. What about that one? Anyway, let's go back to the nonsense.
The writing. The first time we really saw that was Brenton Tarrant in the Christchurch shooting in a mosque in New Zealand.
2012.
What?
No. Whatever.
And he was a fierce, white supremacist and neo-Nazi, and wrote all over his weapon and his rounds very hateful information. So to see this coming from potentially the other side of the political spectrum is a little strange, because it is not something, if you are trying to carry out some kind of message countering more extreme right-wing stuff, I don't know why you would use a tactic that a famous white supremacist who has been revered and copycatted over the years by other white supremacists. Terrorism is theater. They want people to understand their message.
So according to MSNBC, all terrorism is white supremacist, and so when a left-winger commits terrorism, they are also a white supremacist. Whoa, that logic will have your brain swimming. It's also more proof that MSNBC can't go longer than a single minute without talking about white supremacy.
It stood out
by white people who think they're better than anybody else. Again, I don't understand that logic, but okay.
to me, obviously, because we have seen just the rhetoric escalate. We've also seen the very dramatic videos of ICE nabbing individuals and tossing them into unmarked vehicles. A lot of these ICE agents have been masked, and so
yeah, they have to be masked, and because they don't want to get shot at like it just happened, and they grab them in the vehicles because, I don't know, these sanctuary cities that are stupid. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you want a regular life, I'm telling you this right now for anybody out there, can't help other countries, Italy, London, you guys, England, and so like, sorry, Portugal, y'all screwed. I'm sorry. But because you're going to have to fight back and say, we don't want this. Sweden as well, too. But I'm just saying, if you're in America and you live in a blue city and you want a normal living life where you don't got to worry about stuff, you crazy. Ain't no way I'll be living in no damn blue city. Even if in a red state, I wouldn't be in a blue city. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. Because if the people was kept in jail, then they would never have to worry about going nowhere.
has been very divisive, and there's been a lot of fear in the different communities.
And the FBI stands in full support of the ongoing response.
Y'all is full of it that I never seen before. That's for sure. Y'all calling out saying they're advanced in this.
Investigation. Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you want to use.
Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Alexandria Cortez, Jasmine Crockett. What's the other one up there? The Somali woman again, who says she hate white people but married a white man. Yeah, they're not divisive people either.
So when Charlie Kirk was shot, it was because Charlie Kirk had too many opinions. And when an ICE facility was shot up, it's because Trump was mean.
Violence is just terrible. Everybody, right, left, center, I don't care what your politics are, has to speak out strongly against it. But look, I think, and I don't know what's happened here, and I don't know about the guns, but we need better laws on guns. But
he stole the gun from... Gun laws ain't gonna stop people stealing stuff, bro. What the? That's the part of care about the people who are anti-guns. It's still with that logic, they're criminals. By definition, they're gonna break the law. No S.
It's just rampant, and we have to do more. Assault weapons.
Says the guy who has assault weapon ban. Assault weapon ban ain't gonna do nothing. One, because those are not assault weapons, and two, says the guy who has social security around him. Yeah, your guards got guns. Your guards ain't got no. Let your guards be there without no guns, Chuck Schumer. You know what it is. Your guards have guns, but we regular people can't protect ourselves. Yeah. Miss me with that BS.
Is everyone in the Democrat Party senile now? They echo the same script about gun control every time to avoid the growing violence of their base. The Utah shooter borrowed his grandpa's gun. No gun laws are going to fix that. But it's safe to say that Democrat voters, when they're not celebrating violence or trashing memorials, are now fully immersed in conspiracy theories pushed by the media.
I'm calling another FBI cover-up, guys. The bullets today found with the ICE shooting from the sniper said anti-ICE on them, but he went after immigrants. So you're telling me
you do not know how guns work. You know what? You should not have a gun. You are not gonna hit a person from that distance unless you're a trained Marxist. You saw what was that was bad. Let me put it out there. Let me see if we'll find it.
Got up. It's
everybody don't know what's happening.
I'm gonna see if we'll find where it is. Not that. Where is it? Okay. I'm trying to see if we'll find that spot. Okay, it was raining and it was a little bit windy. You have to take that into content to figure out how to use the bullet the right way.
Conspiracy theories pushed by
shooting from the sniper said anti-ICE on them, but he went after immigrants. So you're telling me you want me to believe that the FBI didn't find the bullets after they knew the immigrants were shot? And
holy, the conspiracy theory. Yes, they found the bullets after the shot. So okay, so maybe he didn't kill people. They won't look up there to find bullets, but if God, people are stupid.
Describe them themselves.
This is the image that Kash Patel.
And this is where I want again cut a curse in, because this is Lulu for cuckoo pops right here.
Posted earlier, and I'm going to tell you, there's 4 unspent bullets here. As you can see on the casing, it literally says anti-ICE. Do you think if somebody hated ICE that they would put anti-ICE? No, they put ICE on the side of the bullet. ICE. They wouldn't put anti-ICE. Literally anti-ICE messaging. Are you kidding? We're not buying this shit. Come on, man. Ted Cruz gave a little thing saying politically motivated violence is wrong. This needs to stop. And of course, he brought up the assassination of Charlie. They say that because the left is calling the right Nazis and fascists, that this is why this happened, and this isn't why this happened. And then the ICE director got up and said, I think the takeaway from all this is that the rhetoric has to stop. Okay, fuck you and fuck ICE. This isn't our fault. I mean, I don't know who it was, but detainees were killed. So detainees were shot, and a third is in serious condition. That means that this wasn't an anti-ICE message, except it said anti-ICE on the bullet. Somebody scrawled that on there with a pen. You watch. You watch. This was not left-wing violence. Stop trying to make it so.
Do you think if someone hated ICE, they would put anti-ICE on the bullets? Yes. That's literally what that means. But don't take my word for it. This is the shooter here with his Facebook profile picture, replete with the communist hammer and sickle and a rifle. And don't let them memory hole this Axios article from a few months ago, which explicitly quoted Democrat Party voters who said, quote, there needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public, and that they want their own Democrat Party politicians to be, quote, willing to get shot at ICE facilities. A 4th House Democrat also said that his constituents said that civility isn't working, and to, quote, prepare for violence to protect our democracy. It's not like we've already seen a left-wing shooting at an ICE facility in Texas this year.
An officer was shot near an immigration detention facility in Alvarado. It happened around 11 last night on Sunflower Lane near the Prairie Land Detention Center. Right now, that building is being used by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. Police say they were responding to reports of a suspicious person. That officer saw a person who appeared to be armed, and police say when that officer tried to engage with that person, they were shot at. The officer was hit in the neck but survived.
Yes, the media would love for you to forget the Antifa ambush on the Prairieland Detention Center in Alvarado, Texas this past July 4th, in which over 17 activists have been arrested. One ICE agent was shot in the neck but managed to survive. Even a Washington Post reporter had to admit that the suspects in the shooting were, quote, tied to trans anti-fascist activism. Yes, in little over a week, we've seen 4 left-wing shootings and non-lethal left-wing violence, like trashing Charlie Kirk memorials and leftists starting fistfights at candlelight vigils. If someone they cared about had died, leftists would be violently rioting and looting, so I guess they had to express their violent rage somehow after the Kirk assassination. If only we could figure out why the Democrat Party base is violently attacking ICE facilities. I guess it's just a mystery for the ages.
This is Gestapo-like behavior. Plainclothes officers wearing masks are terrorizing immigrants.
The ICE issue is alarming beyond.
I'm gonna get back to that.
You piece of loser.
Because he is. I'm gonna skip something here because I'm trying to get for time or ever. But let's see this here. Let's see this right here.
This is just the most recent example of this type of attack.
A 23-year-old lunatic leftist shot up a wedding this past weekend while shouting, "Free Palestine."
Get the sense that they knew who.
Didn't hear anything. He just came out and said,
What he said.
yeah, what he said was the children are safe and, free Palestine.
What was that moment like when you heard the gunshots?
At first, I didn't realize it was gunshots. It sounded like balloons because, we were at a festivity thinking there, maybe somebody popped the balloon. But then you look around, we didn't have balloons. And then it got serious because there was 2 and then 4 right away. That's what I heard anyway.
He killed one poor 59-year-old man and would have killed more had a wedding guest not bravely hit the shooter over the head with a bar stool.
When I heard pop, and there's a big wedding going on, I thought it was a balloon. Then all of a sudden, pop, pop, and I saw the guy with the gun. I got up immediately, hit him in the head with a chair. Another guy tackled him. He's got a pretty good cut on his head. And when I hit him in the head with a chair, he dropped his gun and ran.
Tragically, the man who was shot and killed was a father, a Red Sox fan, and a Trump supporter. But I'm sure the media will say the shooting was MAGA on MAGA violence regardless. The left-wing lunatic who shot up an ABC station this week after his master Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes, Gavin Newsom, you
piece of loser.
Was off TV for 48 hours, wrote multiple inflammatory messages online, including, quote, rules don't apply if election stolen, and that Democrats must, quote, fight like hell.
A 64-year-old man named Hernandez Santana has been arrested as the suspect in the shooting that led to an investigation here at ABC 10 in Sacramento along Broadway. And as the sun has risen this morning, you can see for yourself plywood over one of the windows in the lobby there. Now, earlier in the day on Friday, police were called here in response to shots fired from outside the ABC 10's building. No one was injured despite the building being occupied at the time. 3 bullet holes were seen in the window on the building's lobby, and that's when the investigation began. Later the same day, KCRA3 saw police in the River Park neighborhood, including SWAT teams. A witness at the scene reported seeing a man tackled and then taken into custody.
It's California, so he's already been released on bail. And
so there you go. You shot up a place, but you got release.
No, son of a bitch!
The logic in that.
would you be surprised to find out that he also celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Incredibly, the shooter worked as a legislative director for the California Federation of Teachers, one of the most powerful unions in the state. And he had written online that, quote, the authoritarian oligarchy is now complete. CBS caving, big law firms in DC, FBI, AG, university presidents, Supreme Court, public radio, ICE goons, we're all going to have to fight like hell, end quote. Man, it's such a mystery as to what rhetoric inspired him to pick up a gun and start shooting.
I want to know myself, since they say this, we got to turn down the rhetoric, which they're not turning down the damn rhetoric.
Black and brown community, it's here. Wake up.
Remember yesterday when UN staff members effectively booby-trapped the UN prior to Trump's speech, making him almost trip on the escalator, shutting off his mic and his teleprompter?
And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter, because the teleprompter is not working. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
Forcing him to look down at notes while giving an important speech, the way that Trump was not being afforded the same dignity as all previous US presidents, in which he's treated as an evil fascist anomaly who must be stopped by any means necessary, is all a part of the normalization of violence against Trump and Trump supporters that's gone on for about 10 years now. Whenever Democrats try to gaslight you by saying, of course you can wear your MAGA hat in public, no one will attack you, or
yeah, I don't have one. Never gonna buy one because, like I said, I'm a libertarian, but yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
Or you can openly admit to voting for Trump without your kid being bullied and you being forced to move to another town. Well, here's a recent reminder that if you wear a MAGA hat in the wrong place, a violent leftist mob will indeed attack you.
Oh, we know that. We know that. I'm not gonna go for that right there. I'll go with Gottfried right here.
A comeback, saying effectively, watching you speak feels like hell already. Gavin Newsom's really just trying to be the insult king like Trump, so desperately trying to be like Trump. But I wonder how his base feels about him doing a poor impression of Orange Hitler. But just when you thought that 4 left-wing shootings in a week and a half surely will mean that Democrats will stop blaming Trump and the right for this violence, you thought wrong.
No,
here's
they
Greg
won't.
Gutfeld
Cut it
blasting
crazy.
the both sides argument on the 5.
You label someone a fascist or a racist or a Nazi, it makes you free to attack them, and that has been the ideology from the start. The left calls Trump a hate monger. They have called me a hate monger because I ridicule the left, I ridicule protesters, I ridicule academia, Hollywood, the news media. I make fun of The View every day. I make fun of the UN. Guess what? No one acts on the things that I say because my side doesn't do that. We say people are stupid, we say people are wrong, but we don't say they're evil. That is your game, okay? And then you come and you say, okay, man, this is a mentally ill loner. Well, who do you think does this stuff? It's not Ben Affleck, it's not Tom Brady, it's not even Carrot Top. People who do this stuff are always that way. The question is, who points them in that direction? Why pick ICE? Why pick Kirk? Why target TV stations and put bombs under Fox trucks? Huh? Why vandalize memorials? Why kill kids in Catholic schools? 2 things can be true. A person can be mentally ill, and you can be guiding him to that place in his life. That is how brainwashing works.
But I hope for all our sakes that Democrats will eventually change their tone, if only to save lives and prevent future violent attacks. But if the party can't help itself, I guess the violent left-wingers will just have to be locked up.
Yep, that's what it will be.
Time for lefties losing.
That's what it will be. So I have a question on that because it does point out something. So this is gonna be harsh. What I'm gonna say, I'm preambling this. This is gonna be harsh because I didn't really care. He's a human being. I respect that, but I call it straight as it is, and I got time for the BS. The new way I'm doing Project Open right now, I don't care no more in that regard. I'm gonna point this out and I'm gonna call that a night after this. But I got one more clip that I gotta show you. Hopefully we get to this quickly and then I'll show you, I'll tell you this. But here's the thing. When George Floyd, a guy who was a drug addict, who beat up women, nobody talked about that, stole from women, nobody talked about that. His family didn't give a rat's butt about him until they could get money off of him. That's the only way they can, because they didn't help him get off of fentanyl and all that stuff like that. I've seen the full video. Show and put it. You have to be honest, the mistake was you had him under arrest and you took him back out. You should have never took him back out. But sure, you put your foot in his neck. Excuse me. That was your fault in that regard. But trillions of dollars got destroyed in cities. People died. They violently riot for a crack adult crackhead. Sorry, that's what he was. I ain't playing that nonsense with nobody. All right, he was not a person who was a good faith person. Like, oh, he did nothing or whatever. That person died. Y'all burn down cities, kill folks, black and white. I played the clips, including the leftists, white leftists who bashed a woman across her head, a black woman in her head in the march because she was saying, "Don't do this to her town." And also another one who got hit, a black man who got hit because they broke into his store. I played the clip and I showed it in videos before. For that, Charlie Kirk got assassinated. Sucks. They want no riots. They want no burning down no cities. So, which side is the most temperamental? That's the whole point. Sorry. Leftists, y'all are crazy. And again, the most racist creature I've ever met in my life is a leftist white woman. No ifs, ands, or buts. I never met a racist. The most racist white people I ever met is leftist white women. From behind the most weakest man who's scared and cowardly and everything. Because look at the shooters. These shooters looks like they never smell a woman. I'm trying to be a little more nicer before I say they try to look for the stuff. And again, remember the shooter, which again doesn't make no logical sense. Charlie Kirk was against trans. I'm not against trans except for kids. After you're 18 years old, do what the hell you want. I do not care. Again, unless do not tell a guy that you're a woman though. Don't if you're a man, because you will get ended. You will get ended because of that. Don't do that. I'm saying this to protect you. But again, a dude turn into a girl. I don't get it. Say you're gay. If you just say you're gay, it'll be easy. Why go through the whole rigmarole for this? But anyway, let's keep on going. One more clip.
Whenever the left commits acts of violence on behalf of Democrat rhetoric, if instead of dialing it back, the Democrats double down, this isn't an accident, it's by design. As California's Governor Newsom goes on some show with lower viewership than Decoy Voice just to enrage his base.
That's happening in the United States of America. Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process. I mean, if some guy jumped out of an unmarked car in a van with a mask on, tried to grab me, I mean, by definition, you're going to push back. These are not just authoritarian tendencies.
Okay, here what the reason I want him to say that. I'll finish the clip. Listen to the remember the masked men part.
These authoritarian actions by an authoritarian government. So we're willing to fight, and not only fight symbolically by having a little bit of fun, but fight substantively.
And this is after his official Twitter account said, our Secretary of Homeland Security is going to have a bad day today, as a sniper just sent rounds into...
Okay, so we got that. Masked men is that, right? Gavin Newsom, how your law that y'all try to pass, which is of course unconstitutional, but anyway, it's trying to say, again, if you let the ICE pick the guys up in jail when they do their crime, this would not happen. These are guys who committed crime. Y'all let back out of the street to commit more crime, which is so weird. That's why I said I could never live in a damn blue city. But the second part I got to put into this right here. If that's such a thing, and you scared about masked men, I ain't scared about no ICE masked men. You know what I'm scared of? These kind of masked men.
Dramatic new video of a takeover robbery at a high-end San Ramon shopping center.
This is what I'm scared
ended
of.
when the suspects shot their way out of that jewelry store.
NBC Bears' Jody Hernandez spoke with police about how they managed to track down those thieves.
San Ramon police released several new videos of that terrifying takeover robbery. They say the Dublin Police Department gave them a heads up that a robbery crew out of Oakland was in the area. So they immediately deployed their drone to the shopping center. And they say, of course, the store's surveillance cameras also captured the robbers in action.
This is the moment more than 20 masked and hooded.
20 masked and hooded men. Yeah. I see people like that, I'm scared, cause I'm fighting back with what my constitution, cause there ain't no way. Nope. Nope.
People stormed into Heller.
Hold on, wait a minute. That gotta be at least 25, 30 people. I'm not even sure that I can get 30 people together in real life to go and get a drink with each other without somebody saying, oh man, I'm canceling, I'm about to go take a nap. And they're able to get this many people to go and do a smash and grab at a jewelry store? Shh.
Jewelers in broad daylight Monday. Some of them armed with guns, others with crowbars. Police say the mob then helped themselves to $1 million worth of fine jewelry.
Stop buying generic Viagra.
$1 million. Dang.
When they went in, they basically took over the store. They went to all the jewelry display cases and began just smashing the display cases at will, using the crowbars.
Looking at the guy over there trying to go after the watches.
Basically taking whatever jewelry was available.
When the store door closed behind them, police say it automatically locked, trapping the group inside. A witness captured the robbers firing shots to escape.
It was a very dangerous situation. They did fire multiple rounds through the door, which caused the door to shatter, and they were able to then push the glass out.
He's a different type of criminal
exit.
out here.
Drone footage captured the suspects getting into their cars and speeding away. Police say choppers followed them. Officers arrested 3 men and a 17-year-old on International Boulevard in Oakland and arrested 3 others at the Dublin BART station.
So basically they from Oakland, and they came over here in order to do a smash and grab because it wasn't enough for them to just destroy their own communities. They also wanted to destroy the other communities that were surrounding Oakland that they can get to by car. These different types of criminals, and more importantly, the fall of certain cities in California and in Chicago need to be studied.
It really does. It really does. So I'm going to go back to this right here.
To an ICE facility, not hitting any agents, but 3 detainees, sadly ending the lives of 2.
That the bullet casings contained anti-ICE messaging, but the people who were shot and killed were detainees.
Yeah, I think what we'll likely find is he intended to hit the ICE officers, but as his brother alluded to, he was not a trained marksman.
As it's now known, the rounds had anti-ICE engraved on the side. The second time this month, the shooter had leftist words written on the rounds, which is after the left glorified Luigi for doing the same. As the left definitely has a political violence issue they refuse to acknowledge, since, at best, it's their own creation, and at worst, it's their official strategy. As these 3, actually 4 murders are on top of the 2 unsuccessful attempts on Trump, the recent shots at the ABC building, the attempted explosion on Fox News, as this list is just endless. The point being, even when faced with overwhelming evidence, the left is still trying to deny this is their fault. As with this recent incident at the ICE facility in Texas, MSNBC first tried to say it's strange for the right-wing shooter to write left-wing messages.
To see this coming from potentially the other side of the political spectrum is a little strange because it is not something, if you are trying to, carry out some kind of message countering, more extreme right-wing stuff, I don't know why you would.
Then tried to say it must have been a joke.
You can't just assume by that, what was written on that shell casing, that that's necessarily his motivation. He could have been doing that to thinking it was funny.
But no matter what, they always blame the right.
That there is this call for the division to stop, for the rhetoric to be tempered down, for the rhetoric to be dialed down.
Yes.
Obviously, because we have seen just the rhetoric escalate. We've also seen the very dramatic videos of ICE nabbing individuals and tossing them into unmarked vehicles. A lot of these ICE agents have been masked, and so it has been very divisive. And there's been a lot of fear in the different communities where we've been reporting.
Saying we really gotta turn down the temperature of these unknown masked men kidnapping our neighbors into unmarked vehicles just proves that they're not stupid. They're evil. when they can correctly identify why these acts of violence are occurring all across the country and how their own words are directly responsible. If they double down on how these acts of violence would be justified, it's starting to sound like strategy. But it's not just the media. This idea is mainly being driven by Democrat leaders themselves.
When I see ICE, I see slave patrols.
That's the SS and the Gestapo.
Where another Democrat in Congress cited NBC's article about ICE using a 5-year-old screaming to coerce a father to come out and be arrested, as more Democrats came out to call it
Ilhan Omar.
Only for ABC to later delete the original story, saying they mischaracterized the activities of ICE. As they didn't use the kid, the father fled while flipping off the cops, abandoning his own daughter, to which ICE had to rescue. It's one thing to call them slave catchers while they send away your underpaid workers, but it's next level evil to make up an entire narrative villainizing ICE for rescuing an abandoned kid. As one, they're protecting a guy that would leave behind his own daughter to escape arrest. But more importantly, they're broadcasting more reasons to fight ICE. As if they were a legit, fascist, masked Gestapo taking kids, there would be a reason for ordinary citizens to step in. But they have to resort to fearmongering with this fanfiction and Pokemon.
And the rhetoric does have to stop. Just yesterday, Homeland Security released a propaganda video on their social website stating or using Nintendo's Pokemon to catch them all.
Where the DHS did release an arrest montage with a parody of the Pokemon theme song, but then used comedian Theo Vaughn in a deportation video to which he immediately told them to take down, as he doesn't want to be the face of this, concerned that crazed leftists will attack him over it. And that's exactly what the Democrats want, for Americans to be afraid of showing their face in favor of supporting law enforcement because leftist followers will physically attack them. That's why they're so bothered that ICE can wear masks. Where Newsom wants to outlaw federal law enforcement from covering their faces, meanwhile giving an exemption to the forces that he conveniently controls. So it's not about stopping masked men from making arrests.
It ain't.
It's about Newsom trying to claw at power when he's literally just a cheap Chinese knockoff of Trump. When the president puts out his stitched "Trump was right about everything" hat, Newsom makes a cheap
cheap knockoff on it. But I got a question too, just to finish up tonight's show, the Tylenol stuff. You women who's doing this, stop it. I don't have, I wish I had the clip, Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help. He was correct. He was reciting something of a study where he's correct on, one, and two, why y'all so stupid? So, I'm a jug. TikTok is, I don't know why. So you think just to get back at Trump, you're pregnant women, you down a bunch of, some of y'all are getting unresponsive, some of y'all are maybe gonna be dying because you're putting 4 or 5 Tylenols down just because Trump said, hey, be careful about Tylenol. Oh.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
Wow.
Crazy.
The poor children.
And I feel for the kids who gotta put up with you crazy women like that.
Cheap screen print knockoff with his name instead. The president has a long-time struggle against those with Trump derangement syndrome, so Newsom pretends he does too.
If I get the California derangement syndrome, I've been living with that for years and years. New scum.
And let's be clear, there's not a single person with California derangement syndrome. We just think that Democrats have ruined California so badly, we're willing to vote for a reality TV star from the hills over Newsom. As real derangement syndrome is when the president warns us about Tylenol. The company puts out an official message about being the most studied medication. The mainstream media calls Trump's claims unproven, with other outlets even contradicting their previous reporting because of the Orange Man. So pregnant liberals flock to TikTok to take Tylenol tablets to own Trump. Never mind how
Holy Jesus. What is that? What is that?
Stupid people. That's what it is.
Are her parents brother and sister? Can you please leave now? Oh, now I get it. She's a moron.
Girls flock to TikTok to take Tylenol tablets to own Trump. Never mind how Trump is just referencing a Harvard study, something Johns Hopkins had also spoke about, and even Tylenol themselves in 2017 said, "We don't recommend taking this while pregnant."
Tylenol said that. He's just repeating what it's saying.
As in 2019, while talking to a customer, stated, "We have not tested this," ignoring several of their own universities, media outlets, and the company themselves just to do the inverse of whatever Trump suggests, putting your own kids at risk. That is true derangement. Me being angry that Newsom replied to an environmentalist tweet saying, "Trump is lighting your future on fire," ignoring how California just shut down their own $2 billion solar farm after he literally let Los Angeles burn for weeks, causing 25 Californians to lose their life. Us calling him Newscum isn't derangement, it's being justifiably angry. Where the fires aren't even the worst thing, as this cheap Chinese knockoff analogy isn't just a joke. Newscum has always been infatuated with the Chinese dictator, so now they're one signature away from passing this bill in California that polices free speech on social media that could result in a $1 million fine for violating their rules, where the text says it's to stop hate, but who knows what they'll classify as hate. I remember when they passed Prop 57 in 2016, the freeing of non-violent offenders from prison, that somehow classified crimes I can't even read aloud on here that California considered non-violent.
And let's take a look at this. Non-violent. I'm seeing. Grape by intoxication, grape of an unconscious person, human trafficking involving sex with minors, drive-by shootings. That's not violent?
Wow, what a waste.
Motherfucker. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
Assault with a deadly weapon, hostage taking, attempt with an exploding bomb at the hospital or school, domestic violence. That's not violent? Involving trauma, supply firearms to gang members.
Allow yourself to slowly get. You're freaking crazy!
You're crazy. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are nut jobs. And that's why I say, my boy Anderson, you got to make your way out from California because they're crazy as hell. Jeez Louise.
So I don't trust a single thing about California's personal liability on social media bill. It's an attack on free speech, just like his daddy G. As ironically, everything he accuses Trump of doing, Newscum is actually doing in California.
Basically. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Holy smokes. Y'all are nuts in that situation. As you can see, whew, that's non-violent. Gang member giving guns, assault by those are non-violent. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Y'all are bat-ass crazy. Y'all need to be held for that. I don't know what's going on. But with that said, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next time. All right. So thank you for giving me your time, your time, your ears, and everything to listen to the Tonight Show. Hope you guys are. That is crazy. That is literally crazy nonsense I've ever heard in my life. But again, hope you guys can catch me all next week. Next week we'll hopefully get another show. Thank y'all for giving me your time, your ears, your minds on what we're talking about tonight's docket. And I think I proved my point once again, but hey, be careful of yourself. Remember, take care of yourself, then take care of your family, then take care of your neighbor. That's how you build a good community. All right. Remember your First Amendment rights and your Second Amendment rights too. Do it the right way. And then, of course, remember, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, height, nationality, personality. Evil's evil, and that we just saw was evil. And I don't stand with evil people at all. I stand with good, and no matter what race you are, you can be a good white man, good Hispanic, good illegal. If you do the right thing, I'm go with you. Again, it's so weird that you're illegal and you're gonna still do crimes. You put yourself out there for more. That's so stupid. That's not an intelligent person. That's a moron. But I digress. And last but not least, of course, if you're gonna do good things out there, remember, people, evil come. That's not evil. Stupid people do. People are stupid. Individuals smart. Be that smart individual. All right. That's what I'm saying. So again, remember, have yourself a good night. We'll catch you next week for that episode of Project Open Mic. And I hope y'all take care of your family. Anybody out there who with, like I said, the weather's going on in the Caribbean, hope y'all are safe. You take care of that. And in Europe, I wish y'all the best. I hope you take care of yourself, but do not let it die down in England. Y'all get out there to show your freedom of speech, even though you don't have it in England. But do not back down from these pieces of crap human beings. You stand your ground and take back your country. Do the right thing. Because again, multiculturalism has never worked. I have a video about that coming. I'm going to talk about that. But multiculturalism has never worked. It never worked. Ever work. It don't work. So I don't know why we keep on trying to say this, because it lies. Alright? Because we could see, we left this, how they always say, well, oh, it works, and then they try to change their language. Oh, come on in, illegal Mexicans, whatever. But you can't say Latino or Latino, you can say Latinx. Like, see how that works? All right, with that said, y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.